My blood be ink. Episode 8. Only evil deceives.
Always with the knocking. Let me sleep.
Why aren't you dressed?
Good morning. Yes, I did in fact sleep well. No, there was no delayed consequence for using the ring's magic. Of course I'm not traumatized by watching a bunch of gods almost die.
How are you feeling? Tell me while you get dressed.
I'm feeling like I want to go back to sleep. Where are we going? Why are you rushing me?
I'll take the whining to mean that you're fine. We're meeting with the Septenary to discuss everything that's happened.
That's this afternoon.
It is this afternoon. I figured you could use more rest, so I let you sleep in. I did not think that meant 12 hours, but here we are.
12 hours? Barely felt like a nap. Where's Sybella? This feels like a dressable occasion.
She's informed me that she left a few standard pieces that should work for a royal audience.
Always one step ahead, that woman.
Yes, now put the clothes on so we can leave.
Sir, yes, sir.
For the record, I am glad that you're all right.
Really? I half expected you to bite my head off for being reckless. Again.
Yes, well, I don't know what possessed you to make you think that it was a good idea to swim right up to a fight between divine beings. You could have been hurt trying to get to the arena or caught in the crossfire. Oceanus could have attacked you directly, not to mention using the ring the way you did. But strangely enough, I think I'm starting to understand you enough to know why you did it. Which is terrifying in its own right. That said, I think you helped save us, so thank you.
You're welcome. So, what's the temperature check on this meeting with the sovereigns? Should I be worried?
When it comes to the Septenary, you should always be worried. I would have thought you took that lesson to heart after your interaction with Tamkong.
Feels like forever ago.
It wasn't. As for the meeting, I have no idea. I don't know that we've ever been in a situation like this before.
Well, you sound nervous.
An audience with the entire Septenary at once is cause enough. I'm also anticipating their energy to be charged coming out of exhibition.
Makes sense. So what's our game plan? Should I lean into the whole I just saved your asses thing?
You're going to get us killed.
I'm kidding. I'll play it humble and just follow your lead.
Don't play anything. Speak only when they speak to you and stay honest. They can smell deception from a mile away and it will only make them regard you more warily. Just be yourself. A diluted, less intense version of yourself.
Diet, Dante. Got it. Honestly, I'm feeling a bit nervous too. I'm glad you'll be in there with me. Makes me feel safer.
Yes, well, don't embarrass me.
Thank you all for gathering here today. I see no reason to delay today's agenda, so we'll begin immediately.
Where are Celestia and Mannanan?
There's a disturbance in one of our border towns. I sent them to handle it, but we'll be fine. Selwyn will capture today's minutes and will be using a report left to us by Mannanan. According to Mannanan's report, the chaos at exhibition was caused by Neris. It seems she enabled Oceanus's egg to siphon her magic for years. It was her power that made him invulnerable and allowed him to summon the spirits of the dead.
I do not recall her being this formidable.
She was a candidate for the Septenary.
Couldn't have been a strong one. I barely remember her.
And is that not strange?
Why?
If we all went to Harmony Cove right now, how many sirens could each of us name?
Oh, I've tasted quite a few. And there are still more from whom I would like to take a bite.
Yes, the sirens are very good at what they do. Have you met Jacques?
Jacques. The things he does with his toes.
Downright sinful.
Pretty sure I have even seen Olokun in one of the bathhouses.
You have not. Back to this report. As we've been investigating Neris, we discovered that the Sirens revere her as the first among them.
Even more strange that we do not know her.
Mannanan felt there was a suspicious lack of information available to us about her, so he inquired at the library at the edge of the world.
He really did think Neris was a threat if he risked facing Seshat herself. But I thought she didn't share personal records. I've inquired many times myself.
She doesn't. Both Mannanan and I had to barter a few spells. Even then, she only provided access to a few myths and legends.
What did they say?
Neris's mother is Melpomene, the muse of tragedy. But more importantly, there are some texts that say that she has two sisters, Kolinast and Sebna. The first Alkanost and the first Banshee.
That explains it.
What?
Banshees employ a unique branch of necromancy. If Neris accessed that, or simply asked her sister for a favor, that could explain how Oceanus was able to summon the dead so specifically.
And considering that the Song of Alkanos affects the memory,
then Neris could have manipulated our memories of her.
downplaying her threat.
And allowing her to hide in plain sight.
An enemy as dangerous as we, with two powerful allies, and an entire race of denizens that revere her as their mother, has set us in her sights.
Not to mention that at some point we probably knew her.
We are discussing everyone else's power, but she's the original siren. She can probably charm and manipulate whomever she wants into doing whatever she wants.
Or telling her anything she wants to know.
Meaning that anyone, willing or unwilling, could be her spy and not even know it.
She is fascinating.
We should take her seriously.
Stop and try to remember what she looks like.
Nothing!
So, on top of everything else, she is faceless. Why didn't Mannanan raise the alarm on her ages ago? We could have channeled all our resources.
Susanoo, you know full well that Mannanan's requests often fell on deaf ears. We owe him an apology for underestimating her threat.
You've been quiet over there.
Mostly because I'm confused.
What is it, Namaka?
We were just destroyed out there.
We did indeed face a setback, but altogether we're on the mend.
That's not what I mean. Listen, I don't know much about Neris, but she wasn't trying to kill us.
Our collective wounds beg to differ.
If she really wanted to hurt us, she could have joined the fray. If she was really feeding the egg energy for all those years, clearly she's able to access one of the most secure locations in Atlantis. Technically, according to Mannanan, she was there having a nice little fireside chat with him while we were all being torn apart limb from limb. If she wanted us dead, she could have done it right there. And that's already something that we're going to have to face. We almost died. Koi Vulu still hasn't recovered. But worse than that, we almost died in front of everyone. That was the goal. We showed all of Atlantis just how weak we were. They saw us tortured in real time. Emotionally devastated in real time. Bleeding out in real time. I've told you all countless times about how much of our power lies in how we are perceived. How do you think Atlantis perceives us right now? They may celebrate Susanoo and Olokun's final blows, but somewhere in their minds, doubt has begun to creep in. They almost died, they'll say. I could never have imagined them being hurt that badly. And that's what she wanted. To tug at our influence, to diminish us, to no longer synonymize us with strength and order and protection and infallibility. She reduced us. So now, when her little spies go around and spread rumors, more people than ever will start to listen. And what will we do then? If we react with a display of strength or subjugation, she'll tell them they're oppressed. If we do nothing, then we're weak and full of shame. If we carry on business as usual, she'll say that our power has waned and it's time to take on new energy, and of course she'll step in to fill in the void.
She's right. We should expect increased attacks now. She'll want to sow confusion and distrust and continue to poison public perception.
So we increase security.
That makes us look reactionary.
If even one attack of hers is successful, then suddenly Exhibition isn't a one-off.
So we know she'll do something, but we can't be seen working against her, even though if she does do something, it's game over. Do you have a plan?
Of course I do. But first, I want to make something very clear. This is my territory now. Not to mention that my reign is next. So we will do things my way. There will be no hand-holding. There will be no votes. There will be no discussions. I know our people. I know what they eat, where they eat, how they eat, who they eat with, and who they really wish they were eating with. I know their likes, their dislikes, greatest fears, and the hopes that get them out of bed each morning. I know which of us they love the most, and which of us is the most feared. I know the citizens of Atlantis, and I will use that knowledge to protect us.
Respectfully, this is also a security issue, so you should at least be leading this with Mannanan.
Mannanan had his choice. And I wish he was here right now because I could make it clear to his face that I will not be apologizing to him because I'm not responsible for his failures. He failed at communicating how serious of a threat she posed. He failed at making sure Exhibition was secure. He failed at discovering who she is, and he failed at capturing her, even though he was in the same room as her. So now, he will not be leading anything with me. We are here at this very moment as a direct result of his failures, and I won't have him drag me down.
Namaka, I know you are upset.
Upset? Why would I be upset? Why would I feel upset after being humiliated against the denizens I'm sworn to protect? Why would I feel upset at watching my dead brother, who I killed to be in this room with all of you, whose teeth are studded in the weapon I've held for a millennia, is resurrected to torment me? Koi was being eaten by his mother. Tam's head was... He was unrecognizable. We were all tortured and consumed and manipulated and exposed publicly. And I'm not supposed to blame the person whose job it was to protect us? How protected are we all feeling right now?
He tried to tell us.
He shouldn't try. He's a god! You make us understand. If I could sense an earthquake coming, I wouldn't run around saying, "Hey, everyone, I think we should pay attention to this." Or, "Hey, everyone, I think there's an earthquake coming." No. You sound the fucking alarm! You blow a hole in something. You shout. You make us pay attention, and then you yell at us afterwards about how we shouldn't have made it so hard for you. But we all know that this isn't about us. The reason he didn't make it clear is because he thought he could handle it. His ego told him that he was Mannanan the Wise, all-knowing, all-powerful protector, and we were just the kooky sovereigns who won't listen to him, but it's fine. It's fine, because he would swoop in and save the day and lord it over us, and we'd pat him on the back and do it all over again in 1,000 years. No. He did this. So, Olokun, you will make sure that he hands over anything I ask for. You will ensure that he tells me everything I want to know. And you will demand that he avail himself to me at any hour of any day, because you all know that this is currently the greatest threat we are facing at the moment. Is that clear?
A moment, my dear. We have all been through the unimaginable, and there are some wounds of ours festering in places that even Tam Kung cannot reach. And yet, we are we. Each of us experienced these pains with you. Just like you saw what happened to us, so too were we forced to see what happened to you. Neris may very well be working to turn public sentiment against us, but even with all your power and expertise to fight back against her, all is lost if we turn against one another. If one of us fails, it is our duty to be honest and hold each other accountable, but we must remember to do so in a way that still honors and respects us as sovereigns. So you will take a breath, and then you will think very carefully about how you speak to me. Is that clear?
Look at me, my dear. Just breathe. That's all. Just breathe.
Yes, Sovereign. Apologies. I'm clearly not the best version of myself at the moment.
Thank you. Now, Namaka, what was your plan?
It involves him.
Wow, I completely forgot that they were here.
Good afternoon, Sovereigns. I have been taking the minutes as you requested, and I am glad to see you are all restored. I've brought Dante with me as you have all requested.
Ah, yes, the hero. Heard you put on a light show and gave a pep talk, and somehow that saved the day.
Respectfully, Sovereign, I didn't save the day. I was just trying to return something that was never really mine.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be the key to our strategy.
I hear tonight's gonna be a big night for you.
Seems that way.
You don't seem excited.
There just feels like there's a lot riding on this one.
How so?
There's so many people, and the stakes feel high, and the Sovereigns are really counting on me, and I've only been in Atlantis a week. And now there's a fancy banquet, and I have to make some big fancy speech to kick off something that really enmeshes me into this community.
Well, isn't that what you wanted?
I don't know. I wanted adventure. I wanted to explore Atlantis. And I guess that I still can, but I don't think I was looking for responsibility. Selwyn is doing his best, but everyone is going to know that I'm an outsider. I'm not one of you all.
I didn't go to exhibition for all the reasons I told you before. But as the night went on, something told me to listen in. I do. And everything I hear is horrifying. Then they say there's someone swimming towards the arena, and something just told me that it was you. You may be nervous about this big fancy moment and the pressure you feel from the Sovereigns, but the stakes couldn't have been higher when you decided to act. You had all of Atlantis watching you, and whether they knew it or not, you carried their hopes with you. It's why I think no one tried to stop you. They knew that you were going to help, and you did. Yes, you are different. As much as you look like us and you dress like us, you are not one of us. But that's exactly why you were chosen for this moment. Out of the tens of thousands of people there, you were the one who did anything to help. The Septenary has been around for so long, that we rely on them completely. It would never even have entered our minds to try and do something for them. Your differences set you apart. But sometimes they set you above. And you have to lean into those moments.
You are very good at pep talks.
Are you surprised? I'm good at a lot of things.
You're set above too?
The view is dizzying.
You better make room for me on the mountaintop.
I'll have tea and blankets waiting.
Will you be there tonight?
I'm not much for those society functions, you know?
Please. You're my closest friend here. It would be really great to have you there tonight.
It would be nice to see everyone marvel at my work. And to see you have the moment you deserve. But if you want me there, that means I'll have to leave now and find something to wear.
Fine. Just don't steal my spotlight.
If it can be stolen, then it was never yours to begin with.
Deep enough. Deep enough.
Good evening, Atlantis. I'm Geneva Oceanspray.
And I'm Francesca Blackwater. We're coming to you live from this year's Convocation Banquet, where we just heard a moving rendition of Ain't No Chasm Deep Enough by the St. Squillam Academy's Brine Boys Youth Chorale.
Not a dry eye in the room.
They bring the house down every time.
I know, that's right. They absolutely do, Francesca.
I'm assuming it was your idea to bring the harpies.
Behave, Tam.
Mannanan could use their voices as torture devices.
Yes, well, for all that they're annoying, they are effective. And we need effective right now. Speak of the devil.
Tam.
Misty.
Seems I missed quite the debrief.
Hello to you, too.
Oh, we're exchanging pleasantries now. As I heard it, you all but thought me worthless.
We are in public. You could at least pretend to care that we're being watched.
Ah, yes. You and your little performances.
Wow. You seem so bothered. Was it really something I said, or is it something like a guilty conscience? Or maybe someone has been feeling a little impotent lately.
You talk a big game for someone who gave the exhibition performance you did. Everyone else, at least, had the decency to be wounded by an enemy. You nearly got yourself killed because of your feelings.
Yes. My feelings are quite powerful, aren't they? They certainly seem to have kick-started this downward spiral of yours.
Ooh, this is electric.
It seems you've forgotten that the Septenary are not your servants to command. I'm more than happy to remind you.
A reminder won't be necessary. Thank you. But I could use your help with something if you don't mind. I've been trying to make a decision, but I've been stuck. Your opinion would be so very helpful.
Why didn't you ask me? I was standing with you the entire time.
I'm sure you don't need my help.
Come now, don't be like that. Help a girl out. Spirit of reconciliation and all. Here, take my slate. Go ahead and read this version of the speech.
You still haven't chosen your speech? I'm all for the thrill of the moment, my dear, but... Actually, no, this is exciting. I like this.
What is this?
Whatever do you mean? Share with the class.
I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that things are a little different this year. Due to a series of missteps and failures by our protector Mannanan, the King of the Mist, the Atlantis you've known and loved, the Atlantis you've always felt safe in, has now been compromised.
Yes. What's the issue?
I confront you at a party, and you chide me saying there are eyes on us, but you want to announce this drivel to the world?
Drivel? Every word of it is true.
I hope you aren't feeling foolish enough to think, even for a second, that I'd let you get up there and repeat this.
Let me? Let me? See, you saw my exhibition performance as a failure. For me, it was a reminder, and a powerful one at that the only person powerful enough to defeat me is me. Don't forget why my club is so sharp.
So we've moved into the threats portion of the evening, I see.
Yes, one you so politely moved us to. But I'll be more than happy to bring it home. This speech marks each of your failures. It raises questions about your disappearance from the battlefield. Pokes at how strange it is that while Olokun lost a limb and Selassie was stabbed, you came back with scratches? You, the only sovereign to speak with Neris. You, the sovereign with all the information we have about her.
Just what are you implying?
Implying? Nothing. Just asking questions. And maybe making a few suggestions. One of which would be advising that you step down from the Septenary while we search for the answers to those questions.
The Septenary would never.
Maybe. But if I announce it to the world during my speech, we all know that right now is not the time to appear divided. They'll support me to show a unified front.
Zakiyyah!
No! None of that. Let's use our words. Or do you want Olokun to come over here?
Don't let your anger confuse you, Mannanan. You're forgetting something important.
And what's that?
So glad you asked. There are 2 speeches, remember? I can read the one that we're discussing, or I could go with the one where your name isn't mentioned at all, where the only enemy discussed is Neris herself.
Ooh, which one will it be?
Which one indeed, Tam? Now, I think I can be swayed, but I'm gonna need a little something from you first, Mannanan.
I can't wait.
You agreed to serve me for a year and 1 day.
I would rather...
Unfortunately, I don't have time for the hemming and hawing and bravado and the I would rather swallow a flaming sword. I don't have the time. You don't have the time. So let's speed this up, yes? There's the speech you've already seen a portion of and the attached consequences. But I put together a little file filled with all sorts of interesting facts about you. Facts like Corpus Gray, or a very specific week in March of 1942.
How did you...
I don't know how many times I need to remind you all. I deal in information. So what will it be, King of the Mist?
A year and a day?
A full 366.
Fine.
Wonderful. Tam, do you need to stand as witness for the covenant forged between us?
Okay.
Then it is done. Now, I think you should probably head home early. Your brooding will ruin the energy I'm trying to cultivate.
I'll walk you out.
That damn girl and her politicking. I will have my revenge.
You most certainly will not.
You will truly stand beside her in this?
The truth of the matter is that much of what occurred can indeed be laid at your feet. This will be how you will atone. And it gives Namaka some place to channel and direct her rage. You can manage a year and a day. In return, once your covenant is ended, Namaka will provide you quarterly access to her whisper network during your reigning cycles. We've just witnessed firsthand how powerful it is.
She would agree to that.
I will make her. As Olokun said, we are a we. One enemy is enough.
Good night, Tam.
Good night, Misty.
Hello, Dante, Selwyn.
Sovereign?
Dante, I have a proposition for you.
I'll give you both a moment.
No need. I may need your involvement.
Yes, Sovereign.
A lot of divine propositions lately.
Well, yes, this one should be decidedly less dramatic and almost completely in your favor. Think of it as a way I can repay our gratitude for your involvement in this new initiative.
I do love when things are almost completely in my favor. What is it?
I know Selwyn has been educating you regarding Atlantis' culture and history, but how much do you know of the magical world at large?
I'm honestly not sure. I had someone that used to tell me stories, at least I thought they were stories, but every day I'm discovering that more and more of them may have some truth to them.
I see. And what of magic?
What do I know of magic? As in spellcaster? Is this because of what Tam Kung said? Do I have magic?
Calm yourself. As far as I know, you do not have the ability to wield magic.
Salt in the wound, Majesty. Salt in the wound.
Forgive me. As for the proposition, although you may not be able to wield magic, you seem very much to be caught in its stream. The unknown magic within you, your ring and your transformation.
True.
I would have you study Arcana, understand its concepts and teachings, and you may be able to protect yourself, or at the very least understand more of the world you seem to have so firmly planted a foot in.
A splendid idea, Sovereign.
Thank you. You will soon more fully manage his itinerary, correct?
Yes, Sovereign. Once the tour begins, I'm to be his attaché.
And how do you feel about this role? I know that you are used to serving us directly.
It's fine, Sovereign. Someone needs to keep Atlantis safe from him.
We thank you for your service.
Ha. Ha ha ha.
Can you accommodate lessons? Let's say twice per week into his schedule, 90 minutes each?
Of course, Sovereign.
Then it is settled.
This all sounds great, but I think I should vet my tutor a bit.
Dante.
Sorry, Sovereign, I don't mean that disrespectfully or ungraciously. It's just that as a student, I've heard that I can be... How would you describe it, Selwyn?
Infuriating, confusing, surprising, disturbing.
You see, Sovereign? A colorful description. I don't want to disappoint you or waste this opportunity.
I don't think that should be a problem, unless you think me an unworthy instructor.
You? I'm gonna learn from you. Don't you have sovereignly things to do?
I can assure you I know well how to manage my time. Selwyn, I will have my valet pull texts for Dante in advance of our first lesson. See to it that he completes the readings before we begin.
Yes, Sovereign.
Wonderful! We'll begin in a fortnight. We'll discuss the rest later. It seems our hosts are ready to begin. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, Sovereign. Selwyn, can you believe?
No, I most certainly cannot. For the Sovereign Supreme to teach you himself.
I think my charm offensive has gotten too powerful. I just keep drawing everyone in. Is it my looks? Am I just too beautiful?
Remind me to never pay you a compliment again for as long as I live.
Come on, Sel, don't be like that.
Hush. Geneva and Francesca are starting.
How angry was he?
Apoplectic. I promised him access to your whisper network during his reigning cycles.
And why would you do that?
Because you seemed intent on making an enemy out of an ally. And that was foolish, so I stopped it.
I wish you would have at least consulted me first.
Ah, yes. The way you did with your blackmail plan.
Fair.
Look at them.
The boy seems very taken with Selwyn. You've hinged much of your plan on our little interloper. Do you think he can deliver?
He'll have to, but something tells me he will. He pretends to be more foolish than he is. His mind always turns.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. Mannanan is right to regard him warily. Although, I recognize the same behavior in you.
Me? I have no hidden depths. What you see is what you get. You, on the other hand.
Whatever could you mean, darling? And please, you pretend to be a puddle when you have all the depth of an ocean. Something Neris will soon learn.
You flatter me. I can't wait for this to be over. Everything has been Neris lately.
I know, my dear, but you've set a brilliant plan in motion. We'll catch her and lock her away, and all will be as it should.
I know. Convocation is never long enough. I wish you were here during my cycle.
I'd murder you 3 years in.
Why?
I hate sharing, and you're too smart for your own good.
I don't know if I should feel honored or offended.
Why choose? If it makes you feel better, I'd miss you later and regret it.
That does make me feel better. If I die before you, I'll make sure to haunt you and keep you company.
I agree on the condition that you let me analyze your ectoplasm.
Jeez, Tam. Buy a girl a drink first.
The harpies are calling for you. Are you nervous?
10%?
A healthy amount. Rain hellfire on us.
Well, the night may be winding down, but the anticipation in the room has never been higher as we get ready to hear from Sovereign Namaka.
That's right, Geneva. Rumor has it that this speech, which has been shrouded in secrecy and has not been shared with the press in advance, may have something to do with this mystery figure that appeared at this year's dramatic exhibition.
Yes, Francesca. Lots of rumors have been circulating about who the stranger could be. But what we do know is that after his appearance on the outskirts of the arena, the night took a turn for the spectacular, and we saw Olokun like we never have before.
I still get chills thinking about it. It looks like Sovereign Namaka is about to make her remarks. Let's go over to her now.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Septenary, I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. I'd also like to say thank you to all of our service staff for making this evening possible. To our transition teams and the convocation committee who worked tirelessly for making sure these events go off without a hitch. We see you and we celebrate you. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that things are a little different this year. As you all know, Atlantis has long enjoyed the responsibility of being the safest, most progressive, and most technologically advanced nation in the world. For those of you that live outside Atlantis, you have seen firsthand how terrible and terrifying the outside world can be. Wars, powerful instruments of devastation, slavery, disease, pollution, chaos, resource inequities, and much, much more. All issues we have worked hard to eradicate and inoculate you all from. However, a sad truth of the world, a truth that not even we are immune to, is that there are broken, selfish people that will always want to see hard work turned down to rubble. These are the types that need conflict in order to thrive, the types that encounter light and are blinded by it instead of warmed by its cascade. It breaks my heart to share that we have such agents here among us. You may think it impossible to tell who they are, but there are telltale signs. They call peace stagnation. They say consistency means you're stuck in the past. They say if you are happy and fulfilled, then you are just complacent. You see, these are people that will whisper that there needs to be change, that there needs to be an uprooting, an unmooring of all we hold dear. They'll tell you that things need to be different, but they won't tell you how. They will never tell you about the future they want to create. They will just insist that your past and your traditions are not good enough. It was these same people that tried to make a move at Exhibition. They used trickery and dark magic to try and eliminate the sovereigns. And here's where you need to be careful. Because the ones who are behind it might try and say, hey, remember how we almost took down the sovereigns? Remember how we left them bloodied and bruised? They can't protect you. But we can. When they say that to you, I want you to remember, when the arena barrier came down, whose attacks were aimed at all of you? Who was it that put themselves in harm's way to protect you from all that danger? Who was it that used their body as a shield to protect you? It wasn't them. When they say that they should be the leaders, that they can lead with kindness and fairness and grace, I want you to remember what they did on that battlefield. How they summoned the dead, how they twisted and turned the love we had for our friends and families into weapons used against us. Are those the kind of people that you want leading you? Do people prone to such manipulation and darkness really deserve to rule? They will try and scare you. They will try to sow doubt and discord. They will tell you that the lives and freedoms you've worked so hard for are not good enough. That the abundance you find here and nowhere else is not good enough. That the gods who forged this promised land with our very own blood, sweat, and tears are suddenly no longer capable of maintaining the very home we collectively built. But only darkness deals in fear. Only the wicked wield confusion. Only evil deceives. I know you were all scared during Exhibition. I know you had never seen us in that shape before. I also know that you must have been confused when all of a sudden a stranger stormed onto the scene. And once he did, Olokun not only turned the tides of battle, she destroyed Oceanus forever. So what happened? Olokun happened. Centuries ago, Olokun had a vision, a terrible vision of a dark enemy that would try to destroy Atlantis from within. So he put a plan in motion. She portioned off some of her power and sent it away where it would be safe. And at the start of this year's convocation, knowing he was at the cusp of seeing the vision realized, Olokun called that power home. And right when everything seemed to be at its darkest, then came the light. We have never failed you. We have never given you reason to doubt. We have never, in the thousands of years we have reigned as your rulers, done anything to put you at risk. But here is the truth. Atlantis doesn't just belong to us. It also belongs to all of you as well. And that means that it requires all of us, denizens and sovereigns alike, to protect our home from the insidious threats that try to eat us up from within. You're all about to meet Dante. He's going to tell you all about how even though he had barely been in Atlantis for a day, he still chose to serve. How he still chose to stand against the darkness and be part of protecting this great city. But before we hear his remarks, we wanted to make sure that we officially recognize his contribution to the peace we were able to maintain. So, for the first time in Atlantis' history, we would like to honor Dante with the Divine Emissary Award. As the first recipient, Dante will travel across Atlantis and share his story, unveil new initiatives coming directly from the Septenary, and will work with communities to maintain and improve the livelihoods of all of our citizens. Let's give Dante a round of applause.
Thank you, Sovereign Namaka, and thank you so much for this honor. I'd also like to thank Selwyn for being a wonderful guide and friend, and also Sybella for offering me so much kindness and wisdom, and for making sure I look good. You may not know this, but I'm actually from the surface world. But a few weeks ago, I was sailing back from a mission trip where we had built a hospital for a rural island community. On the way back, we were caught in a terrible storm, one that really seemed like it could spell the end for us, but I remembered the stories my father used to read me before bed about the amazing and powerful divine Septenary, and not knowing what to do, I just fell to my knees and called out to them in prayer, begging for mercy, begging for them to save the lives of my men. And that's when Olokun appeared. Right there on my ship, in front of all my men, and as soon as she did, the waters calmed. But imagine my surprise when she not only helps me, but tells me that he entrusted some of his magic to my family some centuries ago, and was calling on me now to come to Atlantis and help protect it. I'll tell you what, I was scared. Scared to leave my men behind, my life behind, scared to transform into a new creature and end up in a whole new world. But I remember talking to my father when I turned 18 and saw so many problems in the world, and I just didn't know what could be done about it all. He didn't give me any advice. He didn't point me in any particular direction. He just turned and asked me, "How will you serve?" So after I had my moment of fear, I just heard my father in my mind ask me again, "How will you serve?" And I knew, right then, that I would go with Olokun. When things looked dark during exhibition and we all started to panic, I heard my father, in my head, again asking me, "How will you serve?" You see, Olokun had the foresight, and she had given me the power, but in that moment I had a choice to make. Would I run? Would I freeze? Or would I serve? I chose to serve. I haven't been in Atlantis long, but already I can see how much the Septenary does and has done for this community. And now I'm excited to visit with all of you as we ask ourselves, how will we serve? How will we give back to our communities? How will we support the sovereigns? How do we fight back against the lies and the darkness these bad actors are trying to propagate? The light I gave Olokun was tiny, little more than a spark. But that spark enabled him to vanquish an enemy everyone thought was unvanquishable. If the Sovereigns could do that with a spark, what could they do if we all gave them just a bit of our light? If we all served? I'm excited to find these answers with you in the upcoming months. Thank you.
That was some speech you gave.
Thank you.
I seem to remember the story of your arrival a bit differently.
Yeah, the Sovereigns thought that this version worked better for getting people on board. It was hard at first, but when I really sat with it, the message is a good one, right? It really does take everyone to make a change.
You don't need to try and convince me. It seems you've already convinced yourself. And that's all that matters.
Are you upset?
No. Just remembering more and more why I don't usually attend these types of functions. But I'm going to give you a friendly warning again, Dante. This time with words from our very own Sovereign.
What's that?
Only evil deceives.
My Blood the Ink is a production of Akeem's Alchemy. Episode 8, Only Evil Deceives, was written and directed by J.Cottle. It features original compositions by Miguel Landestoy, sound design by J.Cottle, studio engineering by Tom Nikiper and Carlos Curry, and editing by Lucy Little. This episode featured J.Cottle as Dante, Jude Torres as Selwyn, Morgan Beckford as Olokun, J. Connolly as Mannanan, Jasmine Garcia as Namaka, Mika Rose as Tam Kung, Shavonne Brown as Sybella, Diji K as Susanoo, Kira Sarai Helper as Geneva Oceanspray, and Zakiyyah as Francesca Blackwater. My Blood the Ink is executive produced by J.Cottle and Jasmine Garcia. Special thanks to our Patreon supporters, Jordan Leslie, Taniqua Patrick, Mika Rose, Daisy Oganeto, Allison Calderon Patrick, and Christina Jefferson. For more information on My Blood the Ink and Akeem's Alchemy, visit us on Instagram at Akeem's Alchemy or our website at akeemsalchemy.com. Remember, no matter how dark it gets, yours is a life worth living and a story worth telling. Until next time.